There we go. We're back.
Okay, so I'm back because Facebook doesn't like me, obviously. I don't blame it, but so I cut out
I
my image.
I don't think anybody's in here yet.
That's cool. It feels better when people aren't watching me, anyways. Just saying. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the kitchen, and
They're coming back.
Huh?
Sorry, guys. For whatever reason, Facebook closed out.
It didn't like me. I don't blame it. It's fine. It's great. If I was Cameron, I would say, "Hey, all you cool crafting kittens." It's
Critters.
Heather.
Critters. I said critters.
My bad.
Hey, all you cool crafting critters. It's Heather
He thinks he's
with
fun.
Craft Rescue.
So we're gonna go into the kitchen. I cut this out. You can see there's still some white space around the edges. This is a clear water slide that I'm going to do on my white 22-ounce fatty. I sprayed this with white spray paint. The bottom is very important. When you spray it white, it actually looks like the bottom of a Lysol wipes can. So we're gonna go in the kitchen. Don't mind my kitchen or my craft room. It's a disaster. And the baby gates, those are great too. So I always come to my handy dandy kitchen. I use a baking sheet for complete cup wraps. And this is, well, it was lukewarm water, but now it's kind of cold because it sat here for a minute. So I start soaking that. I take my stove, and this may not work for everybody, but it kind of works for me when I do them by myself. And then you got to get it to release from the backing. And I'm very impatient.
Kamiko, we did not answer the dimensions question because Facebook closed out, but the dimensions right now, I believe, we actually have a measuring tape because we do shirts as well. So, but the dimensions are 7 inches tall by 11 inches wide. So basically, it's going to cover the whole fatty from top, from here to there is 7 inches, and all the way around is 11. So that's how I ended up doing that.
This is my white water slide, or clear water slide. My bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it back in my water and slide it to my cup. So I want to make sure that this line here is straight, because that's going to define how it continues to roll up my cup. I try to push the bubbles out as I go. Let me get a paper towel. So, paper towel always works better than the finger. That's what she said. So you just slowly roll the cup and wipe all the bubbles out of it, and roll it. Try to roll it as straight as you can.
Usually I would be trying to help.
Yeah, but I've sat here and done a ton of these in a day because I get so many orders for them. And see, if it starts to bubble up like that, you can go back and unroll it partially in your water because it's not wanting to cooperate. Of course not. We're live. Why would it cooperate? So,
Victoria, we do not sell the water slides. Or did we seal? Did you seal the water slide? Yes. We sealed the water slide with matte clear.
Matte clear, Plasti Dip, and then matte clear again.
That way it makes it a little more durable. And I guess that's Leah? I don't want to botch her name. She says that you have a great partner.
Aw, thanks. I do.
Don't mind if I do.
Ew.
Just got on. Can I ask where you get your straight tumblers? I don't see any graduation. I think she gets them from Stainless Steel Depot.
Yes, I get them from Stainless Steel Depot. The Glitter Craze also sells them as well, but they are out of stock. The Stainless Steel Depot right now is also out of stock. A lot of people's cup prices have gone up as well because the cost of shipping has gone insanely crazy. I see some of the cups have gone from like $6, $7 a cup, all the way up to, I saw one of them the other day was 10 for a 30-ounce skinny, which was kind of insane. But also understandable with the economy and shipping taking forever and things like that. So that is my complete cup wrap.
Looks good.
And you can also go back and keep wiping it like this. That's the seam right there. It's not always as straight like that. But it also looks like a label of a real Scentiva Clorox wipes thing container.
It probably feels like it's muted because my hand's on the microphone. Probably my fault.
Shame. But you just keep going back and getting the bubbles out. I have noticed if you leave any bubbles in it, the epoxy leaves somewhat like it looks discolored. In certain spots, like if there was a bubble, it'll be the shape of a bubble, it'll be round, and usually it's in the front where you really don't want it to be. So I found that making sure to wipe it a lot and getting all of the bubbles out of it makes it turn out well. Sometimes you don't see that you have a bubble in it until after you've epoxied it because it will actually discolor it. I've also heard of people spraying clear over it once it's already been attached to the cup. I don't do that because I've already sprayed clear on it a couple of times before I even pulled it off of the paper.
Yeah, we just let it dry and then epoxy it.
And then epoxy
So
it. So
to
I
go
let
back,
it completely dry. I let it dry sometimes overnight because I'm worried that it's not, all of the water came out from underneath the water slide, and I'm worried about water mixing with my epoxy and it making a complete mess. So I usually let it dry overnight under a lamp, turning on the cup turner. I let it turn all night. So that I make sure that it's completely dry.
yeah, Marie said, awesome, love it. Victoria said, looks perfect. Jennifer said, what size fatty? That's a 22 ounce.
Yeah, that's a 22-ounce fatty.
And that's, I think one of the other ladies asked about the dimensions on the actual water slide when you go to do it. It's 7 inches tall and 11 inches wide. So it goes 11 inches around and it lays like that. So, Tanya asked, it is what she used, but she'll shine up once she epoxied it, right? So it looks matte right now, but it'll shine up once she epoxies it.
Yes.
And I can get the one she just did to show that. And Joanne said, wow, how cool. Debbie Parker said, thank you. I did buy mine from Stainless Steel Depot and they're sold out. As you said, I did get 3 2 weeks ago. So this is the Lysol cup she just did a couple weeks ago, I believe. And it wasn't to her liking, so she hasn't.
No, that was actually for a customer. She's the rest of her order isn't finished. The fabric cup, the Miranda Matte fabric cup, is for her.
So this is epoxied. Yeah.
Yes, that one's epoxied.
So you can see how it's shiny. Welcome back, Jana. So we just got through doing another Clorox.
Yeah, Clorox and Tiva cup. That is it, completely wrapped with a clear water slide.
Elena said, I also want to learn how to do this. It looks amazing.
It's very easy. It's a lot easier than most people think. I started about 8 months ago, and it's kind of blown up for me. I went from having a single cup turner to a 6-cup turner to now I have 2 6-cup turners. I figured that with everything going on with COVID that my orders would drop off, but my orders have actually increased. Let's see.
Becky, she doesn't sell any of the files. She just finds them all. But
Yeah, I find them all on Google, and I go into the Silhouette software and I crop them, and I get them to the dimensions that I need, and then I just print them out on clear water slide.
Looks great by Jacqueline. Clarissa said, do you apply in 2 sections? It was
No.
all one water slide.
That was all one water slide.
It was all one sheet.
I didn't cut it up at all. The only thing that I cut was I trimmed the edges, so that I wouldn't have any overhang at the bottom. Because I've had a little bit of overhang at the bottom before, and I've tried cutting it with scissors, and once you make a cut, it just starts ripping. Even with the plastic dip, because once you make a nick into it, it completely diminishes the integrity of it, and it just starts falling apart. But yeah, that is one whole sheet that I do. So I have 14 more printed out that I have to do or 13 more printed out.
Yeah, they're all over here.
That I have to do. That is my printer. Someone asked me earlier,
Yeah.
what printer do I use?
Well, this is the Epson, I think it's the XP340. We honestly got that printer for probably 20 to 30 bucks off of Facebook Marketplace. And then I ended up buying this through eBay, which is the Sys Inks continuous feeder. It ends up feeding ink directly into the printer by that ribbon there. As you can see, it probably running. It's a little complicated to set up, but once you use it, I mean, we've probably had that ink there for, how long would you say, 3 months? 4 months, longer than that.
Yeah.
And I mean, we print almost every day, so we haven't ran out of anything. This is actually our sublimation printer. So this is another one we got probably 20, 30 bucks off of Facebook Marketplace. A rich lady, was giving it away, basically, and we did the same thing. So it's got the Sys ink, and that's sublimation ink in those reservoirs there, and the same thing, a ribbon runs into it and allows us to print on that. Yes, Angela said, wow, I don't usually stay on for people's lives, but I do love y'all. Do y'all do a lot of tutorials? If not, please do more. Do more lives, is what she said.
I can definitely do more lives. A lot of people have reached out to me and asked me a lot of questions. I don't mind any questions. I don't mind people in my inbox asking me about, I've had people ask me if making cups was worth the money in it. So I make pretty good money with it. I know a lot of people don't like to talk about it. I made the lady that ordered the Clorox cups, the 14 of these. So I did the first 7 of them for her. And I charged her $165 for all 7 of them. I gave her a really good discount. She works at the hospital, and they were for all of her nurses that work on her floor. So I made $165 for the first 7. So she came back to me and ordered 14 more of them. Now I have maybe $7.50 in each stainless steel cup, and it's spray paint, water slide, one water slide, clear water slide, and then epoxy, and that's it. So I might have $10 to $12 in each cup. So I'm doubling my profit there.
So she sold each cup for $25, to clarify money-wise.
Yes, so I sold each cup for $25.
Becky said thank you. Jennifer Smith said stimulus money.
Yes.
Katie said, I agree, they've done a great job. Love the teamwork. Clarissa said, okay. I think she was talking about did you apply in 2 sections? So she understood that we did it in one. Can't wait to get this good, is what she said. Jennifer, we do print and cut. A lot of times
Yes.
we'll do that. Depends on the image. If it's a very complicated image as far as water slide goes, it really just depends.
So you can see I have all my images. I print them out like this so that I don't waste water slide paper. I try to fit as many images on them as I possibly can. I did a flamingo cup the other day that one of the admins in this page actually helped me with the images. So this is done on a white water slide. I printed it out because all of it was supposed to be on a white water slide, but you could do a print to cut with it. It did have the registration marks at the top for the computer to read it, but I decided to cut them out by hand because it wasn't reading them correctly, which my Silhouette is known for. And I actually tried it on my Silhouette 2 that I have, and also my Silhouette 4, and it wouldn't cut right on either one of them. So I ended up cutting them out by hand and placing them on the cup.
Clarissa said, can you do a sublimation video for dummies? And someone loved it and said yes. We don't mind at all.
I don't mind doing a sublimation video.
The sublimation, we have the heat press as well.
Yeah.
So we can actually press a shirt as an example, because we make stuff all the time just for our son, just to be silly.
Now, one thing about sublimation that a lot of people don't know before they get into it is that sublimation has to have a polyester blend. It cannot be 100% cotton. When you do it on 100% cotton, it's not as bright, it's not as vibrant, and it doesn't stick to the fabric the way that it's supposed to. It doesn't last through washes. So it has to be a high polyester blend. You have to reverse your images, but mostly the polyester is a big deal.
Yeah.
I do canvases with the sublimation. I can do picture canvases, but you have to do them a certain way. I have to spray them with like a Mod Podge spray sealer. I do that because it creates a polyester-like surface for the sublimation ink to actually stick to. As with cotton, if I just did it on the straight cotton canvas, it's very dull, it's very bland, it doesn't show many colors at all. It doesn't stick very well.
Yeah, we've done pillowcases and stuff.
We've done pillowcases, I've done shirts, I've done hats. I did can koozies the other day for one of my friend's weddings. She had an anchor and their initials and everything, and I did the front and back of the koozies for her, and I did that with sublimation, which made it so much easier than cutting vinyl. I've done hats.
Marie said yes, do more. They're very cool to watch. Jennifer said yes, she was agreeing with them. And she was talking about doing the sublimation thing. I'm probably going to be in your inbox. Laura DePriest Stackpole is going to be in your inbox. She wants to get into sublimation transfers. I actually love how you guys did your printer. Thank you. We appreciate that. Are the Clorox labels printed on regular paper? They are not.
They're not. So I've heard of people using the actual labels off of the Lysol wipes can. You can, so there's a couple of ways that you could do it. Some people scan them in and print them out on regular paper. Now that can be done. You have to do several layers of Mod Podge on it. You can stick it with Mod Podge and do several layers of Mod Podge on top of it, because if the epoxy touches the paper and it's not sealed with Mod Podge, if it finds a spot, it will start seeping underneath it, and you'll see a color difference in it. Some people are doing the actual labels to them. They're doing the same thing with Mod Podge. The labels seem as though they're sealed. I think you can seal them as well with like spray paint, clear enamel spray paint or something of that nature. But sealing it, from what I heard with the Mod Podge, is somewhat like a fabric tumbler. So you put it on your cup and you put like 10 layers of Mod Podge on it, because if you don't, then the epoxy, once you epoxy, it'll actually get underneath the fabric and cause a color change.
Mm-hmm. We've seen that before.
It'll seem like it has a water stain in it. So that's a tough game for me. I do the Waterslides because they're so much easier. I just let them dry overnight and then I epoxy them the next day, and they usually turn out fantastic.
Yeah, Ashley asked if you only do one layer of epoxy over Waterslide. It depends. Because if it's got dimples and stuff, she does another one to fix it.
If it has fish eyes in it, then I will do more than one layer. But a lot of the times I've actually switched epoxies that I use, and I've only been doing 1 or 2 layers on it.
Sublimation can be done on black and dark. You have to get a certain...
You have to get a certain carrier sheet for the sublimation to be able to do on...
There's dark sublimation paper and white sublimation paper.
You can also do it, from the research that I've seen, you can also do it on glitter. You can sublimate onto glitter HTV. I have not done it yet, but I have seen several videos of people sublimating images onto HTV.
We did sublimation onto a white HTV as well.
Yes,
for that
we did sublimate an image onto white HTV that was pressed onto the shirt.
Shamika asked if we've ever done a shower curtain. We have not. Mm-hmm. Letitia asked, can you show the Mod Podge you use on the canvas for sublimation? Talking about, I guess, the Mod Podge clear sealant.
It's in my adhesive box. One moment.
What kind of sublimation printer do you have? We use...
it's a Epson WF7620.
Yeah.
It was actually a regular ink printer, and we converted it to a sublimation printer.
Yeah, they're not actually... I don't know. I'm a dummy to this stuff, but I don't know if they actually have sublimation printers specifically, or if it's just you have to convert it to a sublimation printer, but that's what we did. Like I said, we have the Cis Inks thing I ordered off of eBay. This one, that's one of the websites, I guess. I don't know if you can see that. Print, Pay Less. Yeah, we converted it. So this one has a ribbon that runs into the inside. I'll show that so you can see it. Once this is lifted up, there's a weight underneath. What in the world? Why is that not opening?
It's a different thing.
Let
the girl come fix it.
Anyway,
okay?
I'm the one that put it together and don't even know how to open it. Okay, so yeah, the ribbon runs in here, and it actually goes into where there's a chip and a battery and whatnot on the inside. All of that comes with it whenever you actually order the Sis Inks piece, and it explains everything you can do. There's a ton of YouTube and tutorials on how to actually set those up. But yeah, we converted this one to sublimation. So, but yeah, we did convert it. Let's see, what kind of sublimation printer do you have? I answered that. You can use glitter vinyl to put on dark as well. Yes. Aren't you worried about copyright issues?
That's a sore subject. Even Lindsay says that's a sore subject, so I'm gonna stay away from that subject.
We plead the fifth. Where are y'all located? We're in Savannah?
Yeah, we're near Savannah, Georgia, down here in the south. This is the Mod Podge spray that someone asked about using for the sublimation. It works well when you don't have to wash the item a lot. I saw one lady in another group, when I started out with my sublimation, she told me that she did spray it on a shirt and that she washed it a couple times and it was fine. However, I'm kind of iffy about selling something that I wouldn't be completely sure about wouldn't fade, or the ink wouldn't come out of, or something like that. But on canvases, maybe even hats that you're not going to wash as much, you can spray it with this first and let it dry. And then you can sublimate on top of it. I've done that with a couple of our canvases, of our family pictures. So.
Shamika asked if we have a YouTube channel. We do not.
We do not have a YouTube
Allison,
channel.
yes, so we converted it. Didn't think a sub on HTV vinyl. Yep, we didn't either until we kind of got a hinking that we could do that. Allison says, I have the Sawgrass and I love it. I'm guessing that's a type of printer.
That's a type of sublimation printer.
And Jennifer says she just got the 7720. Epson doesn't have the sublimation printer. Yeah, like I said, we converted ours.
Yeah.
Jennifer says she couldn't figure hers out, or I guess replying to someone else. Was it easy to convert it? In my opinion, I'm techie, so it wasn't difficult for me. But just because it got complicated when I was doing the smaller printer, because for whatever reason, long story short, if you end up messing with something in the technology of it, it won't work. But they have ways around that too, and there's a bunch of YouTube channels about how to do it. So if you want to make it easy, I would say find a sublimation printer. That would probably be the easiest way, just to go ahead and do it.
The way that we got into it cheap is because we found it on Facebook Marketplace for a lady that literally just wanted somebody to come and take it away. We paid her $20 for it, I think. She said the paper kept sticking in it or getting stuck.
It was jammed. That's all it was.
There was paper that was jammed in it, and she was just tired of messing with it, and she just wanted somebody to come get it. So with us, he's tech savvy and he knows how to do all that kind of stuff, so he was able to convert it over to a sublimation printer because it had the conversion kit. If you go and Google like which printers have a conversion kit for sublimation to set up with sublimation, it'll tell you whether or not the printer that you're looking at can be switched over to sublimation. There has to be a conversion kit for the printer that you're looking at for you to be able to convert it to sublimation, unless it's a designated already sublimation printer like a Sawgrass. Grasshopper or Sawgrass? Sawgrass.
Yep. She wants something to print bigger images. Looks into both printers since they print larger. Awesome. I don't know if she's ready to hop off, but I would imagine if you guys have other questions, we'll answer them.
Questions, feel free to send me a message to my inbox.
Where'd you find your glitter stand? You talking about that one?
He actually built that, so
I made that.
It spins.
Yeah, that has a Lazy Susan from Lowe's on the bottom that supports up to 500 pounds. I ended up making that. I like to think I'm handy, so.
And what's even worse is that there's way more glitter than what's on that.
Oh, this is just, I think that one holds 96.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to make another one because this is, yeah, just so you guys are aware, this is what I get to deal with.
Yeah, you see this. Yeah.
It's literally everywhere.
Yeah, he hates glitter too. That's the funny part.
And it's an up here. Yeah, it's just a lot of glitter.
And you'll see that my glitter stash is about 95% glitter craze. I'm diehard glitter craze. You get the best prices on there. They have always sales on everything. The buy one get one free is the best. You're getting it for like $4.50 a bottle or $4 a bottle. The best site. I love all of the Diamond Series. That's what's on this cup, if anybody was wondering about that. That is the Diamond Series with some of the, I think it's Magic Dust over the top of it to somewhat give it more of a whiter finish. They sparkle like crazy. This one's been sanded a little bit. so it's a little dull.
Annette
Yeah.
says thank you. Victoria says y'all are so informative. Thank you. And Amber says, oh my God, I need that glitter collection. You might need like 5 more racks. Thank you. I agree. I have asked her if she needs to make another one. If all we've got to do is order the spice holders. So those are spice holders you can order on Amazon. They're a little pricey,
Yeah.
but they are worth it as far as being able to organize them in a way where they end up working. What I have seen and what we may end up doing is getting the metal sheets
and doing the
magnets on the back of it. So
E6000ing some magnet rounds on it and sticking them to a metal sheet without having to use the clips. Because I'm worried that the clips may weaken over time and probably break and not be able to hold the glitter bottles anymore. So that's possibly something we may do in the future. But if anybody has any questions, look me up on Facebook. I don't mind answering any questions at all. I'm always here to help everybody else. I had a lot of people help me in the beginning when I first started doing this, and I don't think that I would have so many orders if I wouldn't have had those people that helped me in the beginning. So I'm here to help anybody any way that I can. So just inbox me and let me know of anything that I can help you guys with. I'd be happy to
Jacqueline says she loves that you use the Uline boxes, because I guess they're still in the Uline boxes.
Oh.
And said that we do not do sublimation on stainless tumblers. We haven't gotten to that.
No. You have to buy a certain type of tumbler, from what I understand, for the sublimation. I do have the mug kit for my heat press to be able to do it, to press things onto mugs and things like that. I do have a 40-ounce sublimation tumbler that I haven't really messed with yet, that I could probably try. I don't know who'd use a 40-ounce tumbler because that's entirely too big, but give it a shot.
Carmen, she buys her glitter from Glitter Craze.
Yes, I get
all of
my
it.
Glitter from Glitter Craze.
All of it.
Yes.
Like, we have stock in Glitter Craze.
Yeah, we should buy stock.
Even though there's not stock in Glitter Craze.
There should be.
Leah, I hope I'm saying her name right. Leah says, great partnership, you guys rock as a couple. And Jennifer said magnets are a great idea. That's my honest next thought process.
Yeah.
The only problem is we rent here, so I'm trying not to
Drill a
put
bunch of
major holes in the
walls.
walls. Yeah. So Becky said, you guys are fun to watch. Thanks for all the tips. Carmen said, thank you. Shamika said, you guys are such a great duo. And what brand is your heat press? Asked by Victoria. eBay?
Is it eBay?
eBay question mark? It's Combo Heat Press Machine. This is the one that we use. We just did a 40 shirt order today. It took us a couple days to actually get it together, but this is the one that we ended up getting off of eBay. It comes with a bunch of different attachments. Speaking of which, I think this is one of them down here, which we don't use at all because we're not in that market of things. But I would imagine this is probably the sublimation side for mugs.
Yeah, that's
but it
for
came
mugs.
with all these attachments. We just don't use them.
That's the cradle for the mugs.
Yeah, so actually it has this part down here as well, which probably
That's for hats.
yeah. So yeah. Yeah, those things that we don't use because we don't get orders like that. As far as for the sublimation stuff, she mostly does cups, but
Yeah, I wish I would have got a Glowforge instead of being set up for sublimation. Glowforge is pretty awesome. Yeah, I really want a Glowforge.
But all right, you cool crafting critters. I guess we'll hop off for now. If you guys have questions, reach out to her on her inbox. And thanks for watching.
Thanks for joining us.
Deuces.